Well, all right. Heat back in the win column, a bit of an unfamiliar feeling, but we'll take it. I'll ignore the 22 turnovers you had. I'll ignore the fact that you almost blow a big lead to a terrible Nets team that was playing like 7 people I never heard of, including someone named Evbom Wan. But no, in all seriousness, it was a decent performance for your Miami Heat, and it is nice to see them get back into the win column and they take care of business against a team that they absolutely needed to get right back at 500. I know Khalil Ware wasn't great today, and I've already had a couple people on Twitter blame me because in my last video, I did a Khalil Ware thread, and my thread videos seem to be a jinx because like a year ago, I did a reaction to a Drew Smith thread, and I said that Drew Smith is ass, and then he turned into a great player. I did a thread on the Heat's defense with Ware and Bam like a week ago, and it's been terrible since. And then yesterday I did my Khalil Ware offensive thread, and boy, he was a little rough on offense today. Khalil Ware today finished with 7 points, but shots, 3 of 11 from the field. That is no bueno. But he did hit a 3 late to make the numbers look a little bit better, which I need because I might cash out on my Rookie of the Year pick because I could have cashed out for a $200 profit. I put $20 on Ware to win Rookie of the Year like a week ago. And yesterday I could have cashed out for $220. I did not. I said one more game. An elite Squid Games reference there, even though I hated those people that said one more game, but that was me. So if I get a decent payout on a cash out tomorrow for Khalil Ware, I might just do it. But anyways, let's get into this game a little bit. The Heat win, man. We get our 50% off Papa John's tomorrow for NFL Championship Sunday. So that's nice, right? Although I'm not a big Papa John's guy. If we're talking fast food pizza, I like Pizza Hut. It seems like an unpopular opinion. People give me crap for it. I think Pizza Hut is decent. But in reality, you should be supporting some of your local pizza shops because, I'm assuming you have some by you, and there's a lot of great ones. So go check it out. Anyways, as you can tell, there's not a lot to talk about this game because we're already 2 minutes in and really haven't said anything of substance. But yeah, the Heat started off the game pretty poor. Had like 4 turnovers in like the first minutes. They were really turning the ball over all game. We said they finished with 22, which is insane that you got a pretty comfortable win with that amount of turnovers. You also had really bad performances, not just from Ware, but I guess early on, both your bigs were kind of bad, including Bam Adebayo. He got off to a bit of a rough start shooting as well, although he had a very good second half and a great rebounding game, which we'll get into. But the one thing I want to note about Bam early is he hit a 3 in the corner off of no hesitation because the shot clock was winding down. He had to get it up quick, did not have time to think about it. And that's been something that I've been saying about Bam all year. Maybe even the last couple of years. Is he's so much better when he doesn't think, because I think most of his struggles this season are just mentally related. I don't think it's a skill thing. He gets into his head too much, and he's so much better when he just attacks. And when there's a short shot clock, like when there was on that 3, he didn't have time to think about it. He just had to let it fly, and that has been the case when Bam's on a lot of the 3s that Bam's hit this year, I guess. So hopefully, I know they got the All-Star break coming up in a few weeks. Hopefully that gives him time to really settle down and come out of the second half of the season very hot, because in years past he's had great starts to the season, then he's kind of tailed off. So I am holding out hope that this year is kind of the reverse, which I guess is better, which the Heat certainly need, because obviously this is the second game of Jimmy Butler's suspension. As of right now, he's supposed to be back on Monday if he doesn't get traded. Who the hell knows when he's going to get traded? I probably do, because I'm actually going on vacation Thursday of next week to New Mexico. And he's probably going to get traded when I'm away. And I'm only away for 4 days. But he's probably going to get traded because I'm not going to have my camera or my laptop or my mic. But just so y'all know, to give you a little bit of a heads up, I'll be on vacation starting Thursday next week for a few days. And if something of significance happens, I guess I'll break out the phone. But we'll see. But anyways, yeah, Bam Adebayo got off to a bit of a rough start today. His touch around the rim was just awful today. But you did have Tyler Herro. He played very well. Had 14 points on only 1 3 in the first half. It was really getting to the rim. Had some great change of pace dribble moves to get into the paint. Was using that left hand that y'all know I absolutely love. And then Jaime and Nico, after a couple of rough games, had a great first half as well. They combined for 19. Probably the roughest stretch of that first half is when you had the lineup without Duncan, Bam, or Herro. I think Spo should try to avoid that at all costs. Really try to get one of those guys in the game at all times, especially if you can, Bam or Herro. It used to be have one of either Bam, Herro, or Jimmy, but probably won't have the luxury of having a Jimmy Butler for that much longer, but at least have Duncan in there because he has been a great, passer this season. We've talked a lot about that. But without those three in there, you had a lineup of Rozier, Pele, Jaime, Jovic, and Ware. And obviously, although Jaime and Jovic had good first halves, and they're decent playmakers as well, the ball movement in that group was just awful. No one could really initiate the offense. But that was your first half where the Heat were up 4. It was very nice to see Vince Carter had his jersey retired during halftime. Barry Jackson kind of brought up the point on Twitter if Jimmy Butler would ever get his jersey retired. Of course, that's something I started thinking about as well because I don't think things ended great with Vince in the Nets either in New Jersey, I guess, at the time. Because obviously he left New Jersey probably 20 years ago, but he only retired, 5 or 6 years ago? If even that. I don't know if it's been that long. So it took them some time to retire his jersey. He actually never went to the finals with them. I thought he was on those teams. He wasn't. But obviously they were able to make amends and he was get his jersey retired. I think Jimmy will get his jersey retired. Obviously things are very ugly right now between him and the front office, but I do believe time heals all wounds. Someone responded to Barry Jackson's tweet because, Barry actually said he thinks Jimmy will never get his jersey retired. And someone said, well, what about Shaq? Shaq obviously had beef with the front office. He literally tried to fight Pat Riley. But Barry basically said that it's worse now with Jimmy. Like, Barry said that they never suspended Shaq. It was never publicly this bad. I can't really speak to that. I was 9 years old when Shaq left the Heat. But I know it wasn't great. Is this worse with Jimmy Butler? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think time does heal all wounds, and it would really be a disgrace if Jimmy Butler does not get his jersey retired by the Heat because he's our third greatest player in franchise history. He's responsible for countless all-time moments with the franchise, and I hope they do retire his jersey one day, and I will do my best to be in attendance whenever that is. Maybe it's 20 years from now. Who knows? But that Vince Carter halftime was 50 minutes, by the way, which is a little bit ridiculous. The players came into the third quarter very rusty. Is that because of the long break they had? I don't know. But it was a funny start to that third quarter because literally 2 seconds in, the Heat almost turned it over. And I'm thinking, you just had hella turnovers in the first half, and 2 seconds into the third quarter, you turn it over again? But then the Nets coach actually challenged it because, they said the Heat, it was not a turnover on the Heat. They said that the Nets had tipped the inbounds pass. So the Nets coach challenged because he thinks the Heat tipped it out. But when they reviewed it, they actually ended up calling a foul on the Nets before the ball was inbounded. So what turned into, no harm, no foul, Heat ball, whatever, the Nets coach challenged it, and now the Heat got one free throw and the ball because it was a violation on the Nets. So that didn't work out for that coach. But yeah, the Heat had 1 point, 2 seconds into the half, and never scored again for the next 4 minutes. It was a disgusting brand of basketball. I think they had maybe 7 points in the first 7 minutes, and 6 of those was from Duncan Robinson. They were missing dunks. They were terrible lobs to Khalil Ware. And then when there was good lobs to Ware, he was missing dunks. They were missing layups at the rim. They were throwing the ball to the other team constantly. But then it was halfway through that third quarter where Spo took out Ware and brought in Nikola Jovic, and things really turned around. Jovic was picking up the pace. He was playing with the ball in his hands. He was feeling himself. Hit a nice 3 in the corner, then pointed to Juwan Howard on the Nets bench. Yes, our guy, Juwan Howard, 2-time champ with your Miami Heat, assistant coach for several years before he went to head coach at Michigan. Now he's an assistant on the Nets bench. And Jovic actually didn't play under Howard. Juwan Howard left in 2019. Jovic got here in 2022. But maybe they got some sort of relationship. I know Juwan Howard still has respect for the Heat organization. But yeah, Duncan and Tyler, they really got it going in the second half of the third quarter as well. Both hit insane fading threes in the left corner. Herro had another wild transition 3 off a Jovic steal, and Jovic threw it behind his head, but then Herro lost it, but then did a step back to the 3-point line, and Herro was feeling himself, talking trash to the crowd. They absolutely loved it. And Herro had a great left-hand finish at the end of the third quarter as well. So then the Heats were up 14 going into the fourth quarter. Bam got it going a little bit. In the end of the third quarter, he actually caught a great pass from Jovic and could have went up and dunked it right away, but hesitated, waited for the defense to foul him, and then Bam went up soft on the shot and missed a bunny at the rim. It's just a little frustrating, truthfully. But Bam did at least get fouled and made both free throws, but those got to be and ones. I wanted to see Bam go up a lot stronger. And to an extent, he did in the fourth quarter, although most of his shots, he was sort of fading away. He loves getting in that mid-range or posting up for the jump hook, but then fades away on all of them. It's just a bit frustrating, but he did catch a pick and roll pass from Tyler Herro and did a good job, hesitating in the paint again for the defense to clear out this time, and then went up strong and dunked it. So overall, Bam had a good night outside of the inefficient shooting, because he did shoot 6 of 13 today, which is not great. I mean, I guess it's not terrible. He certainly was a lot worse to start. But he did finish with 17 points and 4 assists. But the part you love is the 16 rebounds. Even better is he had 5 offensive rebounds. So that shows that he's continuing to be active. And if he is going to be inefficient, make up for it by getting offensive rebounds. And that's exactly what he did today. And basically, the Heat would not look back. Things got dicey in like the last minutes. I think it was like Keon Johnson who hit like back-to-back threes, and Heat had a couple turnovers. It was like a 6-point game. But then they had to play the foul game. Shout out to Terry Rozier. Apparently, he's the Heat leader in free throw percentage this season. They said he was 98%, which is insane. So shout out to him. He did hit his free throws. And now the Heat are 500 again. And they got a game coming up Monday night versus the Orlando Magic, who now have Paolo and Franz back. So that's going to be a difficult game. Will Jimmy Butler be in attendance? Well, he's supposed to be. Let's take a look at the box score, though, and kind of talk about everyone who we did not. Highsmith today, no buckets, but it was nice to see him get the starts after kind of being out of the rotation, basically, for the last several games, while Spo tried starting guys like Jaime, of course, and Pelle Larsson. I do like Highsmith out there. They put him on D'Angelo Russell early, and I like that matchup. I like having Highsmith there so he can guard the other team's best perimeter player, and then have Herro focus on the offense with Ware and Bam handling the bigs on the other side. So I do like that. I like Highsmith at the starting 3. We talked about Bam. Yeah, Ware today, 23 minutes, 7.6 rebounds. Not super efficient. Did hit a 3 today, so I do like that he's continuing to stretch the floor. But he'll be fine. He's been playing great, and I'm super excited to continue watching him. If you didn't see my thread on him, go check out my last video. Kind of did a breakdown about how great he is at this stage of his career and how high his offensive IQ is. I think it's actually super underrated, and you can tell because he moves so well without the ball. But Duncan Robinson today hit some big shots. 15 points for him, 3 and 9. Tyler Herro got you 25 points, 8 assists. Don't love the 5 turnovers, but he was doing a lot of playmaking today as well. And he's been the Heat's best offensive player. I mean, 25 points on 14 shots. Yeah, that's insane efficiency. Last year, he used to score like 20 points on 21 shots. My guy, Royal A. Shepard on Twitter, used to always put out how many points Herro had on how many shots in a way to slander him. Well, today I saw a tweet from Royal that said Herro has 20 points on like 11 shots. So he was showing some respect. And for Royal A. Shepard to show respect to Tyler Herro, Herro's playing amazing ball. Because Royal is not one to pass out Herro praise lightly. But yeah, Jovic, 17, 6, and 4 off the bench with 2 steals and 2 blocks. One of those blocks was a nasty stuff on Noah Clowney, who tried to posterize him, and Jovic said, "Get that out of there." Really nice to see Nikola Jovic get back to his offensive game, but defensively as well. Outside of the block, he had another great tie-up on one of the Nets who was trying to drive into the paint, and that's how you continue to earn your minutes on the defensive end. Played 30 of them tonight. Jaime Jaquez got 9 points in his 25 minutes. Although, yeah, he finished 2 of 7, so he had a rough second half. But Terry Rozier today, the box score looks okay, 16 points, 8 rebounds, shot 6 of 13, but the shot selection was pretty poor. But it is what it is with Terry Rozier. I want to actually use that to transition into my shout outs of last video's super chats. Once again, from the girl, Ivana Muse. Thank you for the $10 dono. She says, thanks for sharing your emotions about the game and especially Terry Rozier. And then she says, my poor microphone, because it has to hear all my screaming. Yeah, I feel bad for my mic. I feel bad for my girl in the other room because she's hearing me constantly yelling the same stuff. A lot of times directed at Terry Rozier, but we're not going to do that today. Although, if y'all saw the video I put out on Twitter, I also put it as a YouTube short earlier today. It was a very funny Terry Rozier video. I'll just leave it at that. Make sure y'all go check it out. I want to add it into one of these videos, these main videos on the channel. But I'm going to wait until Terry Rozier has a Terry Rozier game again, if you know what I mean. And then we'll play that clip in here. It's a very funny one. I went to the basketball course this morning, took like 15 minutes of film and put that together. So if y'all don't want to wait to see it on the main videos, go check it out on Twitter at AnthonyD_Heats or on my YouTube shorts. You can just go to my channel to see that. But anyways, yeah, that's all I got to say for this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be reading everyone's thoughts down below. And yeah, we're on the ground to hit 7K subs. Make sure you hit that button. Until then, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.
Pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.